So hello folks, today this is going to be the beginning of my bill series and we're going to focus on Bill S-233. This has to do with Canadian politics, of course. So obviously if the bill has an S in front of it, that means it's starting in the Senate. So I'm just going to read over the content here and see what we're dealing with. A, to determine what constitutes a livable basic income for each region in Canada, taking into account the goods and services that are necessary to ensure that individuals can lead a dignified and healthy life, as well as the cost of those goods and services in accessible markets. Doesn't sound too bad so far. Point B, to create national standards for health and social supports that complement a guaranteed basic income program and guide the implementation of such a program in every province. Doesn't sound too bad again, but wait with point C here. This is the real kicker. C, to ensure that participation in education, training, or the labor market is not required in order to qualify for a guaranteed livable basic income. And D, to ensure that the implementation of a guaranteed livable basic income program does not result in a decrease in services or benefits meant to meet an individual's exceptional needs related to health or disability. So when you really look at this, folks, this is totally a UBI program or Universal Basic Income program that wants to get implemented here. I'm for sure against this. I think it's an awful idea. You know, it's extremely socialist, extremely big government. It's just going to increase the size of government a lot. It's going to de-incentivize people to be productive in society and contribute to society through working or doing whatever, even with education, as it was mentioned. And this is just going to create more leeches and mooches in society that want to leech off the government. And we already have a lot of those here in Canada because overall in this country, people really do not value freedom and such. They value free stuff more than anything. And that's a large chunk of the population. I'm not saying that's everybody, but that's a large chunk of the population. And really, the only way a program like this would maybe work is they would have to get rid of like stuff like EI, child benefit care, welfare. They would have to wipe that all out and just have this universal basic income system. That's the only way that it might be able to work fairly or evenly. But I don't really see that happening, just, you know, knowing how the government of Canada works and such. I guarantee you they're going to have all those other benefits as well. And I don't see how we're going to be able to afford to fund a program like this either. Like, you know, it's not going to be for free. That's going to come out of the taxpayers' money. And especially the people who go out there and work and are productive in this society are going to be paying even more taxes and whatever to fund such a program for, you know, the leeches that it's going to create. And the leeches and mooches in society that already do live that kind of lifestyle off the government. But in terms of it starting in the Senate is quite interesting as well, just for the simple fact that, you know, the Senate is a partisan institution, and the only place between the federal and the provincial governments where the Senate is elected in this country is in Alberta. So it's a partisan institution. It's appointed by the Prime Minister and his cabinet there, so it's going to pass through the Senate no problem, but then it's got to go to the House. Like, it can either start in the House, then go to the Senate, or start in the Senate, then it's got to go through the House. You know, it could be reversed like that. But when it comes to the House, I know like none of the right-wing parties like the Conservatives or any other party on the right would vote for such a bill. But now with the NDP and the Liberal making this pact, which it's really like basically a coalition, they might be able to pass a bill like this through the House with the support of the NDP. And I think the Bloc would actually support something like this in the end. It's hard to say. Maybe that's a bit of a toss-up, but there's about a good 50-50 chance that this could pass through the House as well, especially if they get the support of the NDP, which it looks like they're trying to line that up to pass such a bill like this. So overall, that's my thoughts on it. Sorry for stumbling a little bit. I've got to probably drink some more water, and I'm trying to do this quickly before I go to work. But yeah, overall, totally not for it. And maybe this is also a scheme for them to further take control and maybe implement, you know, the digital ID that's being talked about, and then eventually maybe a social credit system. You know, I'm not trying to sound like a conspiracy theorist here, but if you look into some of this stuff, you know, it looks like not only in Canada, but in many other governments in the world want to try to push this kind of control eventually. So we'll see what happens. But that's just my thoughts and analysis on this bill. Have a good day.